What is financial literacy in Canada? Financial literacy in Canada is having the skills and expertise to make informed decisions concerning managing your money. Recognizing basic financial ideas allows people to understand just how to navigate the financial system. People with financial literacy skills make better monetary decisions and handle cash much better than those without these skills. We remain in uncharted waters currently in Canada. The COVID-19 pandemic has actually called for the Canadian government to give economic support programs to both individuals as well as businesses. Canadians' 2019 personal income tax obligation payment due date has been extended and is due September 30, 2020. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit, CERB, payments are ending soon. The Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy will end in December 2020. Where will Canadians end up when government subsidies end? Lending Arch has reported that there has been a 1,000% increase in demand for debt relief and loan refinancing among Canadians. So I thought it would be an opportune time to discuss the state of financial literacy in Canada. Why is financial literacy in Canada important? Financial literacy in Canada requires to begin with student education. It will aid students to thoroughly consider their money options. This can relate to daily decisions like acquiring groceries to bigger investments like spending for tuition and getting a vehicle. Understand fundamental money management. Create their very own point of view on financial issues, such as rates of interest, home mortgage guidelines, or the Canadian or worldwide economy. Financial literacy in Canada and money management go hand in hand. Establishing excellent finance practices like budgeting at an early stage in life is essential to financial wellness in the long term. Without fundamental financial literacy abilities, individuals are a lot more quickly tempted right into financial debts, utilizing credit cards, extending lines of credit, and also taking out high-interest predatory loans without totally comprehending the ramifications of paying those financial debts. Many individuals have a difficult time talking about money at home too. The research I talk about below shows that typically Canadians' financial literacy in Canada is above average. Nonetheless, at the very least, one study reveals Canadian moms and dads prefer to speak to their youngsters regarding sex than money matters. Not comprehending the fundamentals of finance could send their children into a financial freefall. The topic of this blog is not sufficiently wide to talk about the ramifications of children not understanding the concepts of responsible and safe sex. Perhaps it comes down to financial preparedness and confidence. How is financial literacy in Canada assessed? The Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, is an international survey that intends to assess education systems around the world by evaluating the abilities and also understanding of 15-year-old pupils in topics like science, math, reading, joint problem resolving, and financial literacy. In the 2015 PISA survey, Canada took part in it for the very first time. PISA does not measure academic success in relation to each institution's curricula. It does examine pupils' capacity to apply understanding and abilities, as well as to examine, reason, and also connect effectively as they examine, assess, and resolve problems. The results supply a crucial standard step for financial literacy in Canada. The Council of Ministers of Education, Canada, reported that in 2015, Canadian 15-year-old students attained an above-average score. Amongst the 15 countries and economies that joined the 2015 PISA financial literacy study, only one, China, outmatched Canada. A different 2015 research revealed that overall Canadians stack up well on financial literacy, contrasted to their peers in other places of the world. For example, the 2015 Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development survey, measuring financial literacy and financial inclusion, measured respondents' financial knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors. It ranked Canadians' overall financial literacy third out of 29 countries. The results were that only 61% of Canadians could correctly answer 5 of 7 financial knowledge questions. That is what gave Canadians overall the financial literacy standing of third place. So it appears, based on these 2015 studies, that Canadian youth on average as a group score better than Canadians as a whole, although overall financial literacy in Canada is above average. Presumably, it is the Canadian school system teaching financial literacy that might account for the overall better performance of 15-year-old Canadians versus a mixed age group. How is financial literacy in Canada taught in Ontario schools? The Ontario government has recently overhauled its financial literacy education and learning program. Pupils in grades 4 to 12 learn about financial literacy so they can comprehend just how to make enlightened financial choices. Financial literacy belongs to the elementary and secondary schools' educational programs in many different subjects, such as mathematics, social studies, Canadian and world studies, and also business studies. In some subjects, pupils may be learning details of and abilities for understanding money and money management, consumer education, savings, and budgeting. This will certainly help them create financial literacy in Canada abilities. In various other subjects, financial literacy connections may be made as pupils learn more about their place in the world as a responsible and caring person, or when they examine different economic systems. What resources are available to teachers for classroom use to teach financial literacy in Canada? Via the educational program, pupils are creating abilities in critical reasoning, decision-making, as well as solving problems that can be applied for both education and also to real-life circumstances. Resources have been created for teachers to help them connect financial literacy topics across the curriculum to grow the students discovering and making financial literacy in Canada much more meaningful to them. Teacher videos, guides, and lesson plans are developed to supply financial literacy teaching are developed to assist. What resources are available for teachers to help parents support their children's financial literacy in Canada? Mums and dads have an essential duty to play in supporting their children to create the skills, knowledge, and behaviors to navigate today's significantly complicated economic world. Parent resources have been established to highlight the Ministry of Education's Financial Literacy in Canada methodology and to direct parents in engaging their youngsters in financial literacy matters. These sources can be made use of to support discussions at parent-teacher evenings, student fairs, and various other parent-child learning situations. The Financial Consumer Agency of Canada has actually developed an outline based on best practices in assessment methodology and what it has discovered in assessing its very own financial literacy sources and program. The provincial ministries of education have developed their very own programs as mentioned above with this guidance. Financial literacy in Canada. Canadians share what they wish they learned about money. Even though on average Canadians score above average in a financial literacy test, Canadians still don't feel confident they know everything they can about financial planning. Huffington Post Canada reported that over half of Canadians are only $200 away from insolvency, and 31% don't make enough to cover their bills, according to a recent poll of 1,500 Canadians. Alison Carson, Oakville, Ontario high school teacher, wished she found out the most effective method to invest her money. As a teacher, a large part of her paycheck goes into her pension plan. She says she relies upon her employer to invest her money in such a way that will offer her the very best retirement possible. However, she doesn't know enough regarding exactly how it all works to keep track of it. I just trusted that if there was a problem, that someone more financially literate than me would have figured that out, and these would be some article written about it. And I would read the article, she said. Ontario Securities Commission Investor Education Fund, IEF, supports financial literacy in Canada. Started by the Ontario Securities Commission, the IEF site offers individual financial advice for consumers in various life situations, as well as resources for instructors and students. It supplies an excellent introduction of the major types of investments: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, RRSPs, as well as uses a range of calculators, worksheets, and tests. This website, which combines the instructional resources of all 12 U.S. Federal Reserve banks and the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve, offers public and class resources on business economics, personal finance, banking, and money management. It also offers interactive tools and games for grades kindergarten to 12, as well as web links to various other sites of financial education and learning within and outside the U.S. Federal Reserve System. This is their contribution to financial literacy in Canada. Summary. I hope you enjoyed this Financial Literacy in Canada Brandon's blog. November is Financial Literacy Month in Canada. Throughout November, organizations and individuals from across the country are encouraged to host and participate in events and share resources aimed at helping Canadians learn how to manage their personal finances successfully. But we don't have to wait until then to begin learning. If you need financial help right now, feel confident that Ira or Brandon Smith can still assist you. Telephone consultations and/or virtual conferences are readily available for anyone feeling the need to discuss their personal or company situation.